Hi everyone. Welcome to week 7 of the 12 weeks of Halloween here on Ink and Inspirations, and this is the project we're going to be making today. It's with these cute little treat tubes that are in the Stampin' Up! Holiday catalog. And so first of all, here I have this little treat tube, and you can put any kind of little candies in there or drink mixes. I just used some candy corns because I like those colors for Halloween, and there are 5 of them just stacked in there, and I just slid them in where they would layer up kind of pretty inside that and make a cute packaging. So I'm going to set that aside for now, and let's look at what we need to make this project. I cut myself a piece of 4x4 very vanilla cardstock. This is just for stamping and punching. And then here I have a piece of the Spooky Night Designer Series paper, and it's cut at 1 inch by 3 inches. And then I had about a 2x2 piece of basic black cardstock, and I used the Everyday Label Punch to punch that out as a backing. Okay, so let's get started here. I'm going to do some stamping, and I'm using this Have a Haunting Halloween from Labels to Love. So let's get that out and mount it on a clear mount block. And I'm going to use 2 different colors, the Pumpkin Pie and Basic Black. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to use those 2 colors easily. So Pumpkin Pie is the lighter of the 2. And so I'm going to stamp the whole, ink up the whole stamp in Pumpkin Pie. Okay, make sure I've got some good coverage there. And I like how that looks. So I'm going to set that down, close my ink pad, and then I'm going to get my basic black marker. Now I just want part of the stamp colored, and I'm going to do basically the edges and the rim and some of the trim. So there's a little black bat, or I say it's not black yet, it's pumpkin pie right now, but I'm going to just kind of rub a little bit of that ink off because that's pretty saturated. But since this is a darker color, I'll just go over that bat with my basic black marker. Okay, and then I'm going to do these little swirlies that go around here. And I'm just using the side of the brush tip marker. If you do this, you're going to, in color with the point down, you might damage that point for when you need it for fine tip coloring. And I can see I got a little black right there, but you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to come around here and do these little swirlies, and then I'm going to do these little fan shapes right here. And then come on around. And for Halloween, you know, it can be eerie and not perfectly even, and so just don't stress over this kind of little technique when you're doing, especially creating for Halloween, but really anytime it's going to look fine. I'm just basically concentrating on that little swirl and the bat, okay? And you'll see I have some little black spaces on some of the other orange, but that's okay. All right, so now I'm going to take it and what we call huffing on the stamp. So I'm just going to blow on it and re-moisten all of that ink. And then I'm going to stamp it on my very vanilla cardstock. And there we go. It'll be just fine. So let me take this and punch it out with the Everyday Label Punch. And then I've punched this basic black already, and I want it to layer behind there. Well, it's even Steven, so I need to do something about that. So I'm just going to take my paper snips and cut it right in half. Okay, and then I want it to border the edges just like that. So let me grab some of my Snell adhesive and put on the edge here. And then I can just line this up where you get a border and a layer behind that, and that makes that stamped image pop out a little bit more. Okay, there we go. Just that easy. So now I'm going to get my paper piercing tool and my Stampin' Pierce mat, and I'm going to take and just punch a hole right here, and I'm going to use that to thread my linen thread through. Okay, so I kind of punch it, and then I take it and swirl it around to make that hole a little bit bigger. And let's see, I think what I did was I used this vintage crochet trim, and so here we go. That's a tiny hole, but I'm just going to line that up with that hole and take my paper piercer and push some of those fibers through where I can pull it through from the other side. Just like that. Okay, and then I like to leave it on the spool so I can judge then how long I'd like for those little tails to be. And so we're going to leave it about like that. Then I'm going to take some of my linen thread, and I'll just cut a piece that I know I have enough to tie a knot around the edge, around the two tails of the vintage trim. So let's just tie a knot. You can tie a bow if you'd like, and usually I decide if I'm going to tie a bow if I've left myself enough room. Okay, so let's see if I can do that. Yeah, and I tie my bows crazy with the two bunny ears, but let's see. Yeah, it worked. Okay. You wouldn't have to do a bow, you could do a knot, and it'd be super simple. Okay, so there's my little greeting, and now let's get our test tube. And I've got this 1x3 piece of designer paper, and I've already got some sticky strip along each edge of the wrong side that I want to use. And so I'm just going to call this the front, so I'm going to turn it around and start, and I kind of start a little bit below where the cork is inside, just to give me a judge, so when I'm wrapping it's basically pretty even going around. And I give enough where I can overlap a bit, just like that, and there it's ready to stick together. Okay, now for this, I tried tying it on, I tried different ways, but really the easiest way is this glue dot. Use a couple of mini glue dots on the back here and attach it like that. And then it doesn't interfere with someone trying to open to get the treat out. Okay, so there's our little treat for this week, Halloween treat, week 7. If you have any questions, let me know. If you're on YouTube, please visit my website at inkandinspirations.com for the details for this project and the item listing if you would like supplies. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.